Hello everyone. In this video we'll see how React 19.2 activity component can be used to solve issue. So let's go to the agenda for this video. So we'll see a problem with the existing React component, and we'll be using a conditional rendering of a particular component, and we'll see how it can be resolved by using an activity component, and finally we'll see a demo. So let's get started. So as you can see, we are just having multiple tabs. It's kind of a multiple form example. So we're having different tabs like personal info, address info, occupation info, and results. So let's input some values. Finally, address info. And finally, occupation. So let's submit this form. So this form will capture all the values from the previous tabs. Now if you go to the DevTools, there is one components tab. So if I go to occupation tab, so if you see here, the values are getting reset. And if I just scroll down, so you can see the state is getting reset. Why? Because since we're using a normal condition rendering, so every time we switch tabs, we're actually unmounting and mounting a fresh component. Similarly, for other components also, you can see the state is getting reset. Yeah. So as you can see, the state is getting reset. So how do we solve this problem? We can solve this problem using an activity component. So let's go to the code. So this is the code. So as you can see, we are having a different tabs like for personal info, address info, and occupation info. And finally, we are having a results tab. So if you see the code, so we are having different functions for the tabs as a separate function. So for example, if you see the personal info, we're having an argument called onDataChange. And this is for passing the value from the child component to the parent component. And we're having different fields for this. So just a normal change event we are using and passing the value. Similarly, for other tabs also, we are having different functions. So the main idea is to segregate the tabs into different functions so that it can be rendered. So the conditionally rendered. So in this case also, we are having a different fields for each tab. And finally, the results tab will have the summary information. It will just capture the summary information. And this is the main function, app function, which we're just setting the use state as null. And finally, we are just having a navigation function called handle next and handle back. So this is the actual code. The relevant portion of the code is this part. So we'll see how we can change it to activity component. So let's do that. So what you have to do is, you have to include the activity tag. There's one attribute called mode. And we have to mention the values for the mode, that is either visible or hidden. So either visible or hidden. So let's close this one and we'll move this yeah, we have to close this tag. So this is how you have to change for the particular component. So let's make the change for the other components and then we'll proceed further. So as you can see, we have made the changes for all the tabs. We have converted everything into an activity component tag. So as you can see, we have the mode attribute which is visible or hidden. So based on the active tab state, it will be controlled. So this is how it is changed. Now let's go back to the UI. We'll enter some values. So occupation, I'm just entering some random values. Let me refresh the screen. Let's enter for address info. And finally for occupation info. So finally, let's submit this form. So as you can see, the summary form will have all the values from the tabs. Now let's go to the DevTools and switch to the Components tab. And we can see that the activity components are available. So let's switch over to the different tabs. Now as you can see, the values are getting retained. If you scroll down below, you'll see the state is maintained. So why? Because it is still there in the memory. It doesn't cause any remounting or unmounting of the component. So that is the advantage of using the activity component. Similarly, for the other activities, you can see that all the values are maintained, plus you can see a mode which is hidden or visible. If you go to the current tab, it will be visible, but if you switch to the other tabs, it will be hidden. So that is the advantage of using the activity component. So the other scenarios where this can be used is when you want to create a multi-form component or multi-tab component, or you want to create some dashboard, you can go for this activity component. Or you want to create some animation application, you can use this activity component to either fade in or fade out for smooth effects. So this can be also be used. And for other UI components also, this will be more useful, like modal or any pop-up window or sidebar component. So that is the other use cases for the activity component. Yeah, so that's it for this video. Hope you like this video. If you enjoyed this video, please do like, share and subscribe, and let me know in the comments below if you want other topics to be covered in the upcoming videos. Thank you for watching.